Hey yo, welcome to our channel today. I've always been a man of routine, content with the predictable ebb and flow of everyday life. My wife, Lori, and I had made a comfortable home in our city apartment, a familiar haven amidst the urban sprawl. But life has a way of throwing curveballs, and mine was about to come hurtling at me. It began subtly. Lori, who had always been more of a tea than a tequila person, suddenly developed a taste for late-night drinks. She'd never been one to indulge in alcohol, so this new habit struck me as odd. I tried to brush it off, telling myself it was just a phase. But as the days turned into a week, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Driven by a mix of curiosity and concern, I decided to see what was really going on. One evening, I discreetly followed her as she left for her supposed night out with the girls. To my surprise, she parked down the road from our apartment, behind a clump of trees, and walked over to our landlord's place. I felt my world tilt on its axis. Our landlord, a smarmy guy who always had a little too much slickness in his smile, was the last person I expected to find in this equation. I grappled with a storm of emotions, but knew that I needed to stay calm and think clearly. I've never been one to make rash decisions, so I did what I do best. I started a plan. I delved into research, looking for a way to handle this betrayal that didn't involve a shouting match or throwing dishes. That's when I stumbled upon an intriguing piece of information. Our landlord, it turned out, was behind on his property taxes, way behind. A plan began to form in my mind, one that would put me in control of the situation. I consulted with a lawyer and found out that if I paid off the back taxes, I could legally claim ownership of the property. It was a bold move, but I was ready for bold. So I did it. I paid the taxes, and with the law on my side, I became the new landlord. The look on our former landlord's face when I handed him the eviction notice was something I'll never forget. It was a mix of shock, anger, and disbelief. After the whirlwind of becoming the landlord and evicting my unfaithful wife's lover, the moment came to confront Lori. I waited for her at home, the divorce papers resting heavily on the kitchen table, a tangible symbol of the end of our life together. Lori walked in, her face a mixture of surprise and confusion. When she saw me waiting, she opened her mouth to speak, but I held up a hand, stopping her. "Lori, save it. I know everything," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "Rick, I can explain," she started, her eyes darting nervously. "I followed you, Lori, to his place," I interrupted, gesturing towards the papers on the table. "I know about the affair." Her face peeled the mask of pretense away. "Rick, I'm sorry. I never meant for Lori to get caught." I cut her off, the hurt and anger simmering beneath my calm exterior. How long has this been going on?" She was silent, her inability to answer speaking volumes. "I loved you, Lori. I trusted you." I pushed the papers towards her. "I want a divorce." She looked down at the papers, then back at me, tears starting to form in her eyes. "Rick, please, can't we talk about this? Can't we try to?" "There's nothing left to say," I said firmly. "I've already taken care of everything. The apartment, the landlord. It's all in my name now. You need to find somewhere else to live." Lori reached for the papers, her hand trembling. "I never wanted to hurt you," she said. "You did, Lori, more than you know." I watched as she signed the papers, each stroke of her pen finalizing the end of our marriage. As she left, I felt a mix of relief and sorrow. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. I was ready to close this chapter of my life and start anew. Both Lori and the ex-landlord were furious. He even tried to get physical, but I was prepared. The altercation ended with him in handcuffs, courtesy of a timely call to the police. In the aftermath of that chaos, I found a strange sense of peace. I had taken control of my life in a way I never thought possible. I was no longer just Rick, the guy with the predictable life. I was Rick, the man who faced betrayal and came out on top, the man who became the landlord. Update: life has a way of turning things around when you least expect it. Since the last time I shared my story, there have been some significant changes in my life, all for the better. After becoming the landlord of the apartment complex where I once just lived, I discovered a knack for property management. I dove into this new role with a passion I hadn't realized I possessed. It wasn't just about running the property, it was about creating a community, a place where people felt at home. I took courses, got certified, and started managing other properties too. This unexpected career turn has been both challenging and rewarding, but the real highlight has been meeting Maya. She moved into the apartment complex a few months after the whole fiasco with Lori and the ex-landlord. Maya is incredible. She's full of life, laughter, and a love for adventure that's infectious. We connected over our love for old movies and hiking, and before we knew it, we were inseparable. She showed me that there's so much more to life, and together we've been exploring all the joy it has to offer. As for the ex-landlord, I heard he recently got out of jail. Despite everything that happened, he chose not to press severe charges against me. He said he doesn't believe in locking people up for years over personal disputes. I respect him for that decision. It's a complicated feeling knowing he's out there, but I've moved on. I wish him well in whatever life he chooses to lead now. I've learned a lot through this whole ordeal. Life can be unpredictable and sometimes downright harsh, but it's also full of opportunities for growth and happiness. I'm grateful for where I am today, a successful property manager, a partner to a wonderful woman, and most importantly, a man who's learned to find strength in adversity. Update 2. Life, as I've come to learn, is never short of surprises. Just when I thought the chapter involving my ex-landlord was closed, another incident popped up, adding yet another twist to this ongoing saga. It happened one evening when Maya and I decided to try out a new bar in town. The place had a cozy vibe, perfect for a relaxed night out. We were enjoying our drinks, lost in conversation and laughter when I noticed a familiar figure at the other end of the bar. It was him, my ex-landlord. He hadn't noticed us at first, but as fate would have it, our paths crossed when I went to order another round of drinks. Recognition flared in his eyes, and an awkward nod was exchanged. I thought that would be the end of it, but I was mistaken. Later in the evening, as Maya and I were preparing to leave, he staggered over to our table. It was clear he was heavily intoxicated, slurring his words. He tried to strike up a conversation with Maya, oblivious to her discomfort and my growing irritation. His behavior quickly escalated from annoying to inappropriate as he began hitting on her, oblivious to the fact that she was with me. I tried to defuse the situation calmly, but he wasn't in a state to listen. Things escalated, and before I knew it, the bar staff had called the police. My ex-landlord was arrested for public intoxication and causing a disturbance. Hearing that he went back to jail was a surreal moment. I had no intention of rekindling any old animosity, but his actions that night were out of line. Maya was understandably shaken by the incident, but we've been supporting each other through it. It was an unpleasant reminder of a past chapter, but it also reinforced how far I've come since then. This encounter at the bar was an unexpected and unwelcome blast from the past, but it has only strengthened my resolve to live a positive life, focusing on the future with Maya and leaving the ghosts of the past where they belong. All right, I won't lie, Rick's ability to remain calm and strategic in the face of such personal betrayal is remarkable. By taking control of the situation in a non-confrontational way, he not only managed to extricate himself from a toxic relationship, but also turned a negative situation into an opportunity for personal and professional growth. Good on you, man. Thank you for joining our captivating journey. If you enjoyed the twists and turns of our story, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to stay tuned for more intriguing tales. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to have you with us in the next chapter. Happy reading and see you soon.